This is a significant day for our club. For us to be able to partner an amazing local success story like Canberra Data Centre fills us with a lot of pride. I first met Greg about 8 years ago, and he reminded me this morning of one of the reasons he's doing this. He showed me a picture of his sons getting taken down into the sheds at a home game. And when we first started talking, he impressed upon me a couple of things: how much he values his staff and how much he values Canberra. And he wanted to sponsor a Canberra team. He could have picked anything else, but he's shown his faith in us. And it's an amazing story that hopefully you get to know. Greg can't market his product to the fans that are sitting in our stadium. He is here for us in Canberra, and we need that investment. We're lucky we punch above our weight with sponsorship, but we need it. We need it for these facilities. We need it to get the next batch of girls through. We need it to buy American female players. We need the investment of sponsorship, and this allows us to do that. And we're just very, very proud. And that Greg came on board purely for that reason. He's also, I just mentioned to him before, I caught up with David Gallup over there. I know Greg's very keen to get a Big Bash cricket team here in Canberra, and I said we'll do whatever we can to help him because it's for Canberra. So I'll introduce you to Greg. I just want to thank him and his board for taking the leap of faith in us. We won't let him down because we are about Canberra, as you know, and we're very, very proud to have you on board. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Don, and echo Don's comments, and thank you very much for coming along today. This hasn't been an overnight kind of story. I've lived in Canberra for 17 years and built my business from scratch, and now it's one of the biggest sort of privately owned businesses in Australia, and we're operating in New Zealand as well. But my relationship with the Raiders goes back 7 or 8 years, where I was slowly sort of sucked into the vortex, and I've gotten to know the management, many of the players, some of the board members as well. And what strikes me is just how important the Raiders are for the community. And from my experience in the last 8 years, when the Raiders are going well, Canberra is going well, and Canberrans are up and about. They really lean into the Raiders, they love the Raiders, and in turn, what the Raiders do for the community, for most people they wouldn't even sort of really know what goes on from a foundation perspective, and how many young blokes have had their lives turned around by the opportunity to come into the Raiders pathway at a young age. And it's honestly probably saved people from, jail or worse in many instances. And a lot of people don't see that aspect of sport, but I have a long history with sport and many different sports, and we sponsor all the winter codes, and also cricket is obviously a big part of our commitments here in the ACT. And I'm a firm believer of sort of giving where you live, and as I tell all the other parents at school, it takes a village to raise a child, so you've got to look after the village, and this is part of looking after Canberra. And I hate the word giving back, because there's a much bigger picture at play than just sort of ticking boxes, but I hope that hopefully this association will go for many, many years, provide us with a wonderful opportunity to be around our staff in Auckland, Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne at away games and other activities, to be exposed to the really high performance growth mindset and growth mentality, high performance mentality that the Raiders kind of exude, and that's a a money can't buy opportunity for all the staff. And I think the learnings around leadership and the way they approach each game and the preparation there'll be a lot of learnings that our business will definitely benefit from. So it's a really proud day. I've been in business for 17 years. I've known the Raiders for the last 8 or so, but I've always admired the Raiders, the passion, they never ever give in. They won so many games last season by just a few points, and that says a lot about the mentality and that they come to play. And hopefully that will rub off on our staff as we grow outside of Canberra and in Canberra, and continue to punch above our weight against some of the global heavyweights in the technology sector, just as the Raiders punch above their weight in the NRL relative to some of the bigger clubs. So hopefully this partnership will be the start of something much bigger, where we can help with some resources that ensure that the Raiders can close the gap to the bigger clubs now and into the future. So thank you very much.